Hey everybody, today we're going back in time to fix problems that I already fixed. We got an engine code on the RX8 that I gotta fix. Hello future YouTube watchers, this is Andrew from the past here working on our Doritos Locos, project name pending, Mazda RX8. So what we have here is, before I could show you the videos that showed up earlier on this project, I had to go fix a check engine light to get it through Washington State emissions. For reference, the check engine light code I was getting is P0661, which is a solenoid failure for the SSV on the RX8, which is like this special air switching valve thing that's supposed to help you with power in the upper RPM ranges. But in Washington State, if you have this check engine light code, it'll actually fail your emissions check. So we have to go fix it. And so the problem is it's not really easy to fix. So if we go look over here real quick at our engine. So this is, if you've never seen inside the engine bay of one of these things, this is a rotary engine. And so these solenoids are way the heck back here behind the intake manifold, the upper intake manifold. If we move over here, they're back in here. And my hands are far too big to reach them to replace the one I need, while the upper intake manifold is still in place. So we got to go pull all that off. And I was going to do this one. So we're gonna do this video in a more DIY style. So I'm gonna show some pictures with stuff I move, and then I'll probably show you a time lapse at the end if everything turns out good. Because I couldn't really find any good ways or any good videos on YouTube that showed kind of this intake manifold removal. And I wanted to put that out there in case anyone else is having trouble with this, because this is a fairly common fault as far as I can tell on these engines. So sit back and hopefully you learn something. The first thing we got to remove is the throttle body from the intake manifold. That is removing the electrical sensor and then 4 bolts around it to disconnect it from the upper intake manifold. After you get the throttle body out of the way, you're going to want to remove this electrical connector here and these indicated hoses and hose brackets. After those hoses and electrical pieces are removed, you have to remove 2 bolts near the dipstick and 5 bolts where the upper intake manifold bolts down into the other intake parts. Okay everyone, we got the upper intake manifold removed and we have exposed the solenoids that we care about here. We haven't removed it fully, we just removed it enough to get to our solenoids. So these are solenoids, electrically operated vacuum valves essentially. And there's 3 of them, at least in this location on the RX8, on the back side of the intake manifold, that operate various things like inlet valves and stuff like that. This middle one is the one throwing our code. That's the one that tells a special valve in the engine to turn over or not at certain RPMs. So you can see we've already removed this air line from it, and that's going to go on our new one once we put that one in. And what these things kind of look like when they're removed is this little train space gun looking thing. Can we get it to, there we go, focus. So that's what they removed, and so this goes into the manifold there, and this goes to wherever it's sending its signal. Pretty sure that's how that works. Oh, we lost focus again. Anyway, so this goes in the manifold, and this goes to wherever this thing opens to send that signal. And yeah, that should be how it works. So I'm gonna go replace this, put everything back together, and hopefully our codes are gone. Okay, YouTube, we're a little disappointed right now. Put everything back together, as I think correctly. Went out for a drive to go get gas in the car because I'm trying to get it tested tomorrow. And the light stayed off for the first part of the drive and then came back on. So maybe I put something back on wrong, but only one of the lights came on. It was the same light, which makes me believe that the problem wasn't the solenoid valve to begin with, and it was something in the wiring. So I've been doing a little looking online, looking at the wiring diagram. Because of the sharp turn some of these wires make, I guess it's not uncommon for this wire to break, but this has happened. I talked to the previous owner a little bit. This thing passed and was registered last year, and he had to get a check for that too. So I guess what we're gonna do right now is go look at this wiring diagram, try and figure out another way to troubleshoot it. I really don't want to take that stuff back off again, and so I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't do the troubleshooting I needed to do to check if the wiring was off when I had everything open. So I'm gonna try and figure out a way to do it without opening everything up. Maybe I'll have to open it up and run like a custom jumper wire just to make sure everything's working and the wiring's correct. So we'll figure out what I have to do at that point. Yeah, more to come later on once I get done troubleshooting. So final update on this RX8 solenoid issue. It's Monday night, and for the last few days I've been trying to run down everything I could possibly think of, short of cutting open some of the wiring harness and rewiring it to fix our solenoid engine issue. And I've been unsuccessful. It goes from cleaning the connectors to running connectivity checks through the wires to try and find something that's up, and nothing's worked so far. And it puts me in a bit of a situation here because it's Monday night and I want to get this car to a track event on Friday. So before that happens, I have to get it through an emissions test and hopefully pass, or there's some caveats in Washington where you can fail and still make it. And then I have to go get it prepped for the track day, which should probably be the next video on this RX8, kind of a track day prep. But right now, if I have to go tear apart that wiring harness, I will not get her back together in time for the track day. So I'm going to my last resort here and actually taking it to a shop. So I'm going to take it to a Washington State authorized emissions specialist, and have them do some diagnostics, try and figure out if they can figure out what's wrong and fix it. And I'm going to have them give it back to me by Thursday with the hope that I can do all the preps that I need to on this thing on Thursday and head out to the track Friday. Wouldn't be my preferred way to do it. I'd prefer to go tear into the wiring harness myself. I just don't have the time, and if I screw something up worse, then I'm also just shit out of luck in terms of making that track day. So that's kind of the plan for this car right now. A little disappointing. I really wanted to show you guys a successful start up and go, with no engine light. The process I showed you guys earlier in this video is correct. It's the way to it's one of the better ways to pull this thing apart. But I just couldn't solve the problem. The problem wasn't the physical solenoid, it's in the electrical system, and that's just more of a pain in the ass to go try and fix. So I'm going to leave you guys here on this. Hopefully I have an update for you guys in the next video on this car, and everything will be running and driving and be street legal and all that jazz. Thanks for watching us here on the Make It and Break It YouTube channel. My name's Andrew, and I really appreciate you guys coming along this journey with me. If you like what we're doing here, if you like this video down below. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. We put out videos at least once a week. When we're running multiple projects, it'll be usually 2 or 3 a week. In the comments down below, if you guys have seen this problem and a replacement didn't work, I'd be interested to hear what did work for you. I understand this is not the most uncommon problem on the RX8 platform, and at least if we couldn't fix it here on video for you, maybe the comments will come up with something useful for people who are searching this up. So that's it for us today, and we really appreciate you guys watching. So couldn't answer this question for you, but really the only question we aim to answer here on Make It and Break It about our project cars is, why not build it? See y'all later. Welcome back, future YouTube video. Nope.